Okay, good people. Today we're going to go over our independent practice problems day 3. This is Wednesday. But before we go through that, I'm going to go through the definitions with you again. Guys, if you are struggling with remembering these definitions, please put them on note cards. If you put them on note cards tonight, I will give you extra credit points added to your quiz grade, your short quiz grade tomorrow. So if you do that, that's your way to get extra credit. Just send those note cards to Remind. Take pictures of the note cards and send them through Remind tomorrow, and I will give you extra credit points added to your quiz grade. And it's going to be a really short quiz tomorrow that you're going to take. Very, very short. All right. So let's go through this once more. We have finding the angle measurements of the angles that are formed when you have two parallel lines, and parallel lines are lines that are in the same flat surface but never cross each other. So A and B are parallel. This is line A. This is the symbol for line A. This is the symbol for line B. And this is the symbol for parallel. Okay? Line C cuts through a pair of parallel lines, so line C is called the transversal line. And that definition is written out here to the side. The transversal line is a line that cuts a pair of parallel lines. C is the line that cuts a pair of parallel lines. There are 8 angles that are formed when you do that. An angle, by definition, is 2 rays that meet or share the same endpoint. So this is an example of an angle where you have this part of the line is called a ray, where you have an endpoint and an arrow that extends indefinitely in the opposite direction. This part of the angle is another ray, where you have an endpoint and an arrow that extends indefinitely in the opposite direction. Where they meet, or when they meet, they form what you call an angle. Okay, this is an angle. So we have 8 angles that are formed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. These are the relationships that these angles create. The angles that are diagonal from each other, such as 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 5 and 8, 6 and 7, they're called vertical angles. Again, vertical angles are angles that are diagonal from each other. And these angles are congruent. That means they have the same measure. So since angle 1 and 4, they share this little vertex and they're diagonal from each other. Whatever the measurement of angle 1 is, so is the measurement of angle 4. So if angle 1 is 100 degrees, then angle 4 is also 100 degrees. Okay? Angle 2 and angle 3 are vertical. They're diagonal from each other. So if angle 2 is 80 degrees, then angle 3 is also 80 degrees. Any questions about vertical angles? Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are those angles that are in similar positions. They are also congruent. And remember, these definitions only work when you have 2 parallel lines cut by transversal. These definitions only work when you have 2 parallel lines cut by transversal. So your corresponding angles are in similar positions. So we got, if I take this part of my diagram and sit it on top of this part of my diagram, 1 and 5 would match up. They are in similar positions. They correspond with each other. So if the measurement of angle 1 is 120, then the measurement of angle 5 is 120. Why? Because they correspond. If I was to take this picture and sit it on top of this picture, angle 2 and 6 would be right on top of each other. They are corresponding angles. So if angle 2 was 80 degrees, then angle 6 would also be 80 degrees. If angle 2 was 50 degrees, then angle 6 would also be 50 degrees. Why? Because they correspond. They're in the same position. If I was to take this part of the graph up and sit it right on top of this one, angle 2 and angle 6 would be right on top of each other. Okay? Yes. Yes, you can. Because these angles are on the right side and in the top right corner, okay, then yes, they correspond. You can say that as well. Very good. Thank you. No problem. Okay, the same as with 4 and 8. If I was to take this picture and put it right on top of this, 4 and 8 would correspond. They're both in the bottom right corner. So whatever the measurement of angle 4 is, so is the measurement of angle 8. Questions about corresponding angles? I did, sorry. Yeah, this one, oh, it's backwards for y'all than it is for me. Huh, that's weird. Okay, okay, that's weird. All right. Okay, so yeah, that's really weird. All right. So we have, keep going. We have our interior angles. Those are the angles that are on the inside here. Okay. Um, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are interior angles. Exterior angles are the angles that are on the outside. 1, 2, 7, and 8. Those are angles that are on the outside of the parallel lines, right? Your alternate interior angles. Alternate part of this is opposite. Interior is inside. So these angles are on the inside and on opposite ends. So look, the alternate interior angle for 3 is going to be 6. Why? Because they're both on the inside and on opposite ends. 3 is on the top, 6 is on the bottom. For me, 3 is on the left, 6 is on the right. Okay? They're on opposite ends. Same here. These are on opposite ends and they're interior. So they're alternate interior angles. That means whatever the measurement of angle 4 is, so is the measurement of angle 5. Whatever the measurement of angle 3 is, so is the measurement of angle 6. So if 3 is 55 degrees, then 6 is 55 degrees. Any questions about alternate interior angles? Okay. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate meaning opposite ends, exterior meaning outside. So these are my angles that are on the outside but on opposite ends. So my alternate exterior angle for 1 is 8. My alternate exterior angle for 2 is 7. So whatever the measurement of angle 2 is, so is it for 7. So if 2 is 85 degrees, then 7 is 85 degrees. If 1 is 107 degrees, then 8 is 107 degrees, so on and so forth. And we've also talked about the last one that we didn't write. We wrote this down before, but we didn't write it on this paper. Supplementary angles. Those are 2 angles that add up to be a straight line or 180 degrees. 1 and 2 angle forms a straight line here. So when I add 1 and 2 together, that gives me 180. You see how 1 and 3, it forms a straight line here. It's a sideways straight line, but it's still a straight line. 3 and 1 or 1 and 3 are supplementary. I add them together, they add up to 180, they form a straight line. On this side, 2 and 4, they form a straight line. They are supplementary angles. Questions about that? That is such a great observation because if you form a circle, look, all of these angles added together are going to be 360 degrees, which is a full circle. And half of a circle When you cut 360 degrees in half, that's 180. So that's a great connection. Excellent. Any questions, guys? I'll pause right here, okay? I'm going to go to your independent practice problems. We have already done day 1, and you've done day 2, but some of you had questions about day 2. So I'm going to use these definitions that we've talked about in order to answer day 2. Okay? So let's go through day 2 together. Please, guys, please make sure that you participate. I got a question in the chat. Okay, that's fine. I have a question. That's gone. If you have questions, raise your hand or unmute yourself. If I don't see your hand, unmute yourself. Okay, it acts. All right, so here we go. The measurement of angle 2 is equal to 75. So in the diagram, I'm going to put 75 degrees. All right, so now I have to find all the remaining angles. What other angles would be 75 degrees? What other angle would be 75? Angle 4, very good. Angle 4 is also 75 degrees. Why is angle 4 also 75 degrees? That was good. It's vertical. Yay! Yes, it is vertical. Okay, great job. All right. What would be the measurement of angle 1? How do we find the measurement of angle 1? Excellent job. You're going, because these are supplementary angles, great job. You're going to take 180 and subtract it from 70 and subtract 75 from it. So what does that give you? That gives us 105. Good job, y'all. Very good. So we're going to put 105 here. What else is going to be 105 degrees? 3 is. Excellent. Good job, y'all. 3 is also going to be. And why is angle 3 also 105 degrees? They are vertical. Excellent. Very, very good. I'm so proud of you. All right. So now, what would be the measurement of angle 5? What do you think the measurement of angle 5 would be? Anybody? It would be 105. Excellent job. Somebody different. Why do you think the measurement of angle 5 is 105 degrees? Somebody different. It's not vertical to anything just yet. Okay? It's vertical of 5 and 7. They're vertical. But how do we know that 5 is 105? Anybody? It corresponds. Yes. What angle does angle 5 correspond with? It corresponds with 1. Excellent job. Angle 5 and angle 1 correspond. Okay? Great job. What is the measurement of angle 6? Anybody? Excellent. Very good. 75. Good, sweetheart. It's 75. How do we know that it's 75? Anybody? Very good. Because 6 corresponds with 2. Okay? Excellent job. They correspond. That's beautiful. Okay? 6 is also alternate interior with 4. So 6 and 4 are also going to be congruent as well. Just like 3 and 5 are alternate interior as well. Okay, so they're going to be congruent. Very good, y'all. What about 8? What's the measurement of angle 8? It is 75. Very good. Why is it 75 degrees? Why is it 75? Anybody? 75 is right. Why is it 75? I'll pause for a second. That's right. It is vertical. Okay. It is vertical of 6 and it corresponds to 4. They're in the same position. Excellent job. It is also the alternate exterior angle for 2. So it's also equal to 2 because it's alternate exterior. Okay? What is the measurement of angle 7? What's the measurement of angle 7? Well, good job, y'all. 105. How? How do we know it's 105? How do we know it's vertical? It is vertical to angle 5, and it's also corresponding to 3, and it's also alternate exterior to 1. Great job. I'm so proud of y'all. That's wonderful. So let's move to the next diagram, okay? Let's move to this one. It says that the measurement of angle 3 is 102. So we're going to put 102 here, okay? All right. So now, what's the measurement of angle 5? Let's look at 5. Look at where 5 is. What's the relationship between 3 and 5? And we can go back and look at our definitions. And I'll give you some choices there. Oops, it's right up under it. I'm grabbing another notebook and it's right there. It can either be vertical, corresponding, alternate interior, or alternate exterior. What is the relationship between 3 and 5? Is 3 and 5 vertical? Are they corresponding? Are there alternate interior? Or are there alternate exterior? What's the alternate interior? Excellent job. It's alternate interior. Okay? So we're going to I'm going to abbreviate alternate interior. That's what you write here. It's alternate interior of angle 3. Okay? So that means whatever 3 is, so is 5. So 5 is equal to 102 degrees. Questions about that? Okay, good job. Let's look at number 6, angle 6. Angle, and I need to put 102 here. What's the measurement of angle 6 and how do you know that? What's the measurement of angle 6 and how do you know that? Anybody? I'll pause real quickly. How did you get 75? What did you do? Okay, I will show you then so I can give you an explanation. 5 and 6 forms a straight angle. And remember that a straight angle is 180 degrees. So to figure out this angle right here, you're going to take 180 degrees since they're supplementary, and you're going to subtract 102 from it. Okay? All right. So when you subtract 180 minus 102, what does that really give you? That gives you 70 what? 78. Okay? So angle 6 is 78 degrees. All right. And how do we know that? Because 5 and 6 are supplementary. So we're going to put supplementary. Sup angles. We'll abbreviate, okay? All right. And let's look at angle 11. Angle 11 is here. What do you think the measurement of angle 11 is and why? What do you think? I'll pause really quickly, give you some time. Good. It is 102. Why? How do you think, or why do you think it's 102? What is it? What's the relationship, I will say, between 3 and 11? That's giving you a good hint. What's the relationship? Very good. They're corresponding. If I was to take this up and put it right here, they're in the same position. Okay? For me, they're on the right side. All right? They're in the bottom right corner. So here, excuse me. So here I'm going to write that they are corresponding. And I'm going to abbreviate, put corresponding angle, and it's corresponding angle to angle 3. So whatever the measurement of angle 3 is, so is 11. So that's how it's 102 degrees. Let's look at number 7, angle 7. What is the measurement of angle 7? It's 102. It's 102 degrees. Excellent. Okay. How? How do you know it's 102 degrees? It's vertical. What is it vertical to? Great job. What is it vertical to? Very good. It's vertical to 5. Excellent job. Okay. Very, very good. All right. Angle 15 is right here. What's the measurement of angle 15? It is 102. It's 102 degrees. Excellent. How do we know it's 102 degrees? Yep. Very good. Because 7 corresponds with 15. So we're going to put corresponding angle 15. Angle, no, sorry, 7. Very good. Okay. And then 14. 14 is right here. What's the measurement? Very good. It is. It's 78. How do we know the measurement of it is 78? How do we know? How do we know it's 78? I'll pause real quickly. How would I figure out what 14 is just from the measurements that are there? What's the relationship? What about 15? How are 14 and 15? What's the relationship between these two angles? 78 is right. But how would I get 78 only knowing the angles that are there? Okay. I could say, I could add these together and I get 180. So that makes them supplementary. I'm going to put supplementary angles here. Okay. So it's supplementary to angle 15. And really what I'm doing is taking 180 and subtract it from the angle that was already there, which was 102. And that's how I got the 78 degrees. Okay. So they are supplementary. They form a straight angle. All right. Any questions about that? It's also corresponding. It is, well, there's no other corresponding angle that is there, so I can't say that either. All right. Okay. Any questions about this? Okay. The last day, day 3. This is the one that you need to work on. Okay. You're looking at the relationship between these, and you're picking either that they're corresponding, they're alternate interior, alternate exterior, and I need to write the definition for consecutive interior. So we're going to write that here. Consecutive interior are angles, and you can take a picture of this so you'll have it, are angles that are on the inside of parallel lines and they're on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of the transversal. Please take a picture of that definition, okay? All right, so I'm going to show you which one of those is an example of that. Number 4 is an example. The answer here is consecutive. Oops, sorry, y'all. Consecutive interior. Why is it consecutive interior, Ms. Reyes? Because they're on the inside of the parallel lines, and not only are they on the inside, both of them, but they're on the same side of this transversal line. So since they're on the same side of the transversal line and they're on the inside as well, they are consecutive interior angles. Questions about number 4? Okay. All right, I'm going to stop my video here. If you have questions, just let me know. I'm going to post this video on my page.